Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Bishop Darrell Watkins, and let's queer up faith. LGBTQ plus bishops push back on Southern Baptist marriage repeal call. The Southern Baptist Convention has once again taken aim at LGBTQ rights, this time by overwhelmingly passing a resolution urging the U.S. Supreme Court to overturn its landmark 2015 decision that legalized same-gender marriage nationwide. But queer faith leaders are not staying silent. In a strong and heartfelt response, the Council of Bishops of the Global Justice Institute is calling out what they see as a dangerous and demoralizing attack on queer families. Their message is clear. Marriage equality isn't just a legal matter, it's about lives, families, and dignity. The council also turned the tables with a powerful symbolic proposal, a petition demanding the annulment of all Southern Baptist marriages. Quote, if Southern Baptists wish to deny our marriages, they too must recognize the impact of such discrimination, end quote. Signed by Bishops Pat Bumgardner, Robert Griffin, Jim Merritt, and me. The call to action urges allies to sign the petition, remind faith leaders of the golden rule, and stand for fairness, compassion, and equality. For the council, this isn't about revenge, it's about visibility, justice, and protecting love. To sign the petition, and I really want you to, go to change.org and search for Invite LGBTQIAA+ community to demand annulment of Baptist marriages. I know it's a lot. It's Invite LGBTQIAA+ community to demand annulment of Baptist marriages. And more simply, you could go also to sunshinecathedral.org/news. I am very proud of this statement. Not only because I'm on the Council of Bishops that has done this, but I actually proposed it. I could have just done it from the Sunshine Cathedral, but I asked about my fellow bishops may want to get this. So I proposed it, and they were like, oh, 100%, let's do this. So that, because as soon as I saw it, I just thought, and it's kind of in a snarky way, well, we should annul their marriages. And then I'm like, wait, we should annul their marriages, and it took off that way. Now, of course, this isn't going to happen. We don't even really want it to happen. But what we are making a statement that you are acting as people's lives don't matter. You're acting as if their loves and their families and their existence and their identities are for you to decide. What if the tables were turned? And that's the whole point of that. And if it doesn't get them to think differently, I hope it at least get other people to think differently, that we're talking about humans, and maybe other people don't get to decide that your life is or isn't worthwhile.
Yeah. And I think it's great that you're doing it, because you're right, like it's not going to really happen, but it's definitely a good point to make. I saw a video recently on Instagram, and it was this Baptist minister, and he was talking about, oh, you all want all the gay people out of this church? Well, then say goodbye to the music.
Right.
And I thought that was because, LGBTQ people have been in the religious communities all around the world and contributed.
Right.
And so I think it's wonderful.
But I think, as a recovering Catholic, it's always important. But I think the biggest point that I haven't heard, because I didn't have a chance to do a lot of research on this story, is that unfortunately for the religious community, they equate marriage as religion. And the 2015 decision had nothing to do with religion.
Exactly.
The word marriage is only being used because the federal government requires us to use that term for the benefits of the decision. The recognition of the relationship, the recognition of the health care, the recognition of inheritance and the financial conjoining of finances, property ownership, all of those vast pieces and parts. And it's just sad that the religious community can't quite get past their single term definition and understand that marriage has 1,000 different definitions based on the legality and the moment of the time.
And you can get married by the county clerk, go right to the Baptist church, ask them to say a prayer over you, and they can refuse. They can say, no, we don't do that here. But because that's the religion part. And yes, in your religion, like, well, we don't baptize babies, or we don't serve communion to people who aren't members, or you make up whatever rule you want to. But this is a right. People have a right to marry and have families. And so you don't get to disrupt that right. You get to say, I won't bless it. That's your business, and I don't know anybody would want you to anyway. But this is a legal right, and you don't get to have legal rights that other people don't have.
But that's why I made the point. We need to make sure that with the Southern Baptists, that this has nothing to do with religion. It is the requirement of the federal government to use the word marriage. And I mean, I've said many times on this table before, when talking about similar topics, the gay community has failed to make that distinction when we talk about marriage. Everyone's happy, I got married. And then when we get attacked by the religious community, we don't sit there and say, but it has nothing to do with blessings. It has to do with finances. It has to do with the rights of inheritance and taxation.
But you know what? They don't want us to have that either. They're using religion as their beard to try to silence and dismiss us and get rid of us. But yeah, it's not just, if it was just about prayer, yeah, they can make a big deal. We're the ones that won't bless you, and you know. But no, they actually don't want us to have legal rights.
Well, but from what I'm hearing from the religious leadership that I'm paying attention to or getting the opportunity to hear, it is about the religious aspects. It's the sexuality. It's the adoption issues. It's the children issues. But I think we need to just dig in our heels and really go out of our way to educate everybody that it has nothing to do. It's a separation of church and state.
Yes.
And it's a legal definition. And it's a definition because for 250 years, that's how finances, that's how inheritance, that's how property, that's how healthcare has been.
And that's what I've been thinking all along for these last few years. Isn't it supposed to be separation of church and state? And I noticed that a lot of these politicians are blurring the lines too.
Right.
They're mixing religion in with the politics.
That's not by accident.
No.
They're weaponizing religion. They're weaponizing
design.
religion for their political purposes. I do want you both, and all of you out there, to go to sunshinecathedral.org/news and find this. You can go to the other one too, change.org. It's both places. You find it on my Facebook. I mean, it's everywhere. But find this petition and sign it, please. And that is a big LGBTQ story for today. There's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.